small nation that has a big, big goal that inspired to innovate and make the world a better place. That inspired to innovate and make the world a better place. We shall become the world number one. We shall become the world number one. Smadu.
Alright viewer, you're most welcome. Again, I'm teacher Benson Kondia. I teach music. We call it Creative Intelligence 2050. We're looking at so many years from now, and we want to prepare ourselves musically and technically and see how far we will go. Now, we've been talking about music, the theory of music, and last time we had a lesson on the score or the staff. We use the word staff or the music score. Music score is when you have music written down in sets of 5 parallel lines, which I explained last time. When you have a set of 5 parallel lines, it's called a clef. Okay? When you have several clefs of them, when you have a number of them, or when you have music now written on a clef, now you say that music is on a staff, or it is a score. It's a score. It's a score sheet of music. Okay. So we talked about different types of clefs. We talked about the G clef or the treble clef, and then we talked about the F clef or the bass clef. This is treble, and this is bass clef. Now today we want to see how do we combine the two. It's actually when you combine or when you make it complete for a certain given piece of music, that is when now you call it a score. So whenever you see a score or a staff, they basically mean the same thing, or even a clef. Okay, a clef is actually the symbol that tells us what kind of register, what kind of pitches we have. So we want to try to see how we can combine two of them. Most of the time when you combine the G clef and the bass clef, or the G clef and the F clef, you come up with a product that is called the grand staff. So what is a grand staff? A grand staff is a combination of the G clef and the F clef or the bass clef. And that is what we are going to do today. Very quickly we want to draw a miniature of G clef and F clef, two of them. Remember there are 5 parallel lines, so this is the first set of 5 parallel lines. And then we have the second set here. 3, 4, 5. So we want to combine these two of them. When you combine two of them, you can draw this line going all the way down, meaning that you are joining 2 clefs together. And we will call the first one G clef. Well, of course, we learned how to do G clef last time. So we are going to draw a G clef there. Then the second one, we are going to call it the bass clef or the F clef. So we are going to draw it from here. We didn't demonstrate it last time, but you can just get it. It's as easy as the way I do it from here. You do it from the 5th line, the 4th line going up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you do it from here. You tilt it the way down like this, and then you have 2 dots, 2 dots on the 2 upper spaces. Okay, a clef will always have a line, a space, a line, a space, a line, a space, a line, a space, and they are all used in terms of defining pitches. Right. So we have the G clef, and then we have the bass clef. Okay. Very important thing we talked about last time. 2 elements of music. We talked about the pitch and we talked about rhythm. So at the end of the day, so what the product we are going to get, or what we are going to, the raw material that we are going to use in order to have music on this staff is we are going to use pitches, and we are also going to have a given rhythm. That is what we want to develop over here. But before we get there, remember we talked about the 7 letters, or the seven letters of musical alphabet, which happens to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And we said that they signify a certain, each letter will signify a certain given pitch. Right? So when we now come to the staff, that is when now we apply the letters almost in a fixed way. Such that every line, every space is named after a certain letter or by a certain pitch over there. Okay? So we'll pick these pitches and fix them over here, because the two clefs or whichever clef you're going to use, two or more, will always be named with the letter, so that someone reading will be able to tell what kind of a pitch am I supposed to sing or am I supposed to play at a given place if I'm playing a certain instrument at a given point in time. So the first thing we do is to name the letters and the spaces, and we are going to use the 7 letters of the musical alphabet. So we are going to begin with the first clef, the upper clef. I'm doing both of them so that you may have a kind of we may try to comprehensively create a good understanding of the two. But actually, you can do, most of the times you'll do the G clef alone and F clef alone. But for now, since we've been developing that over the time, we can do both of them together. And I hope I will not be rushing too much. So what we say here, we name the lines, we name the spaces, okay? And we are going to begin with the lines of the upper clef, which is the G clef. We start with the first line. The first line is the lowest line, okay? The first line is the lowest line. And on this clef, we have the first line to be this one over here. And we start with letter E. It's not A. Musical alphabet does not necessarily follow the normal alphabet. So we start with the first note, which is the first line down here. So we'll name the lines on them alone first, and then we come to the spaces. So we have the first line E. The second line here is G. And I believe that is why it's called a G clef, okay? Because it emanates from this particular pitch G. So then the second line is G. Then the third line is B. So we are picking B. We'll explain later how it goes. And then the fourth one is D. And the last one over here is F. All right. Now, if we go chronologically or simultaneously, or progressively from in the alphabet. When we develop from E, you realize we go to, in a normal alphabet, we go E, then this one becomes F. Then G, A, because we are moving G, then A. We don't proceed. You only have 7 letters to use. So we go to G to A, then to B again, then from B we go to C progressively, D to E, and then A to F. So we have E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. They keep repeating themselves. Once you are done with the last letter, then you go, it's like a cycle. They repeat themselves, right? So that's why after we are through with B, then we repeat from C again, C, D, E, F. And if we were to continue, then this place would also call it G again. So we can keep naming it over and over. But for now, let's restrict ourselves to the 5 lines and the 4 spaces over there. So we have E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Alright? And we have a way of naming them, or a way of remembering them. You can develop your own. It's not a rule. You can develop your own. But we have a simple way of remembering the lines. You normally say, the ones that are in red, every good boy deserves favor. Every good boy deserves favor. That's a way of remembering them. And then we write the word face with the space. So if you write the word face like that, you have named the lines. You have named the spaces. Okay? Or you can simply start from E and go E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. But when it comes to reading music, it would be very important to know them, or to see them in forms of the notes on the lines and the notes on the spaces, the way we have differentiated them here. Okay? So for now, why don't you just do an exercise and try to name them? Write a full clef, a full clef. Name the upper clef, that is a G clef. Name it from E, F, G, A, B, C, D, and so on. Name the spaces and the lines. You can have your own way of naming it, or you can pick my own. Every good boy deserves favor. And then write the word face. Why don't you do that exercise for now? And then the next lesson, we are also now going to develop the naming for the F or the bass clef. Thank you so much. Bye for now. We'll see you next time. God bless.